or bad experiences.
Yeah.
Or the fact that they have experimental mode available and just haven't used it.
How many people just learned right now that there was an experimental mode on their comma 3? Did we advertise it well in the release notes?
I mean, it turns out not that many people read the blog, so I guess they read the release notes though.
Do they though, or do they just click accept to everything?
Yeah.
All right, we got to get some people interacting. This has got to be a Twitter space. You know, come on. Where's the guy who's a jackass from the Elon Twitter space? Let's get him in here. You got some questions? Let's go.
So you get when you have without people. More
no, that's what we get when we're not controversial.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the real truth. We have to sell controversy. Is that what it takes to succeed in the modern world?
Maybe nice if it didn't. Just I need a way to reward non-controversial value. Well, there's so many people in here now, but they have nothing to say.
We have 37 people listening. And
does anyone know what they want us to say? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you can talk. You're already a speaker. You could just click the unmute.
Yeah, I mean, you put a good point out there. So, like, I'm going to post-shame myself right now. I've had my comma 3 for almost 8 months, but I have had an EV6 with HDA1. Like, the way the Korean market's going, obviously y'all understand that, like, CanFD may be a problem. Any workarounds future state with, like, shrinking pandas or making it more sleek like y'all did with the comma 3, just because I'm looking at all the peripherals I'm running and I'm just like, holy crap, this is intimidating for the layperson, right?
The Red Panda install is not the best. We're working on it. We're definitely working on it. I mean, it does work and it will stay supported, but I mean, you could imagine sort of what's going to happen there. You know, no, it'll be a while, but I mean, eventually CanFD will come native to the device. You know, it just takes time to trickle these things down. But yeah, no, the Red Panda install, it's also pretty confusing. I think Alex and Adib were talking about adding a kit to the website. It's not going to save money. It's just a kit that includes all the stuff you need if you don't want to have to read a whole bunch of stuff to figure it out.
You just need the Red Panda though, right? And extra cables.
No, I think you need 2 harnesses. Oh, I don't know. We're fortunate enough to have Nick did the EV6 install?
Probably. I still haven't installed a device.
We just got handed the EV6 with it already installed. We recognize this isn't the experience for everybody, so you know what? We're going to make everybody suffer, and we're going to make them install Red Pandas and be like, wow, this is terrible. I can't believe we're asking users to do this. But yeah, no, it will get better.
Yeah, as I look at my my Red Panda and my comma 3 in the little compartment underneath the cup holder right now. So
wait, I think we have.
There you go. Case in point.
Wait. The Red Panda is going to get smaller though, right? Did we ever ship small Red Pandas?
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, we have some small Red Pandas. The new Red Pandas we made a little chiplet with the. So the Red Pandas, the old Red Pandas have a large STM-H7 in them. It's like really large. It's like the biggest chip you've ever seen. No, the chip is like it's large. There were a lot of supply chain issues, which are now just starting to clear up. Yeah, which has been really painful for like prices. And part of the reason also we could do the price cut, part of it's insourcing, but the other part of it is like we're starting to see the end of supply chain issues, and we're able to actually buy what we need to buy. The new tiny Red Panda is going to have, so that H7 microcontroller, it comes in a bunch of different variants. Yeah, so instead of using the big chip, we're going to use a tiny chip. But the issue with the tiny chip is so tiny that it can't fit on a normal PCB. So we made like an adapter PCB, made like the high density PCB that's really tiny that kind of like just adapts it and has a bunch of capacitors and the crystal and like a bunch of support components on it.
What else do people want to know?
You guys got to ask questions, you know.
Is there anyone cool to talk to at CES?
Yeah, did anyone see anything good at CES? We're sitting in the Airbnb and we're like, I don't know, do I want to go back? I don't know. See it all tomorrow. What did Zooks have to show? Did anyone go to the Zooks booth?
Amazon had a lot of self-driving stuff, but I didn't check it out.
With Rivian or just Amazon?
I guess just Amazon. Wait, but they bought Zoox and Rivian.
They did.
Oh, they're really playing bingo.
And what's Amazon going to do with all their money? They know that delivering packages to people isn't going to last as a business forever. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, that's the oil companies. All right, we got another comment from the audience. Live view of mine. Oh, I see. So you're posting what were the booths next to you guys doing? One of them was doing like LiDAR. Yeah, no, the Red Panda install will get better, don't worry. The booths next to you were doing LiDAR. What was the other one?
I didn't talk to them.
They had blinking brake lights. That's all I really know about them. And
You
then
know
like
about Dragon Pilot booth.
Well, Dragon Pilot's booth?
Yeah.
Wait, do they actually?
Well, the guy who made Dragon Pilot works at a company that has a booth.
Oh, I didn't realize they had a booth. I thought they were just there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, the guy who makes Dragon Pilot was there today. We talked to him. We were thinking about maybe going with MediaTek chips in the far future because Qualcomm's terrible and NVIDIA's terrible. You know, we wish it wasn't that way, but
MediaTek's Chinese too.
MediaTek's Taiwanese.
Oh, that's not Rockchip.
You say two? No, Taiwanese is not Chinese. I mean, Rockchip's Chinese.
Yeah, Rockchip's Chinese.
Yeah,
I see.
Rockchip's Chinese. I mean, Rockchip's highest end chip is not really good enough.
I see.
Like it's on par with the 845, and no one wants to do a lateral port. You know.
I mean, that's not very interesting.
Yeah.
What if TI releases one of their chips?
They will not.
5x better.
TI will never do that. TI makes incredible chips, but they will not be more powerful than the ones they release.
The ones they're releasing now. So the 8S chip is like half as powerful as the 845, right?
No, not even.
Oh, not even.
No, the TDA. They were talking about the TDA 4VM. The TDA 4VM is pretty underpowered. I think it's dual core. If it has a GPU, it's really tiny. It has some weird neural accelerator.
GPU, I think just the tensor thing.
Yeah, it has tensor. Like I don't deal with that. So yeah, no TI. No, I mean like what companies make chips that are good enough? NVIDIA, Qualcomm, MediaTek, Huawei, Samsung. But yeah, I mean Huawei and Samsung, good luck. But MediaTek's probably the most approachable of all those companies.
Are they in anything I've heard of?
They're in phones. A lot of lower end Android phones are MediaTek.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. We have 9 comments now. What are all these comments? Oh. Have you and Elon discussed autonomy? You guys think I just like hung out with Elon and we just talked about things? That didn't really happen, guys. I had a conversation with him in a Twitter space. I use it and it is great. Thank you. What is the long-term goals of Comma? And he talks of partnerships with with car companies. Guys, this is the most boring question ever. What do you think that means? What do you think a partnership with a car company means?
Rivian giving us a free car to do a port.
Well, if Rivian wants to give us a free car to do a port, we're happy to do it. That's supposed to, yeah. You know what? If some car company's serious and they want to give us a free car, I think for almost any car, if they gave us a free car, we'd do a port.
Yeah, I guess.
And like the car was reasonable? Like not like some like unreasonable, ridiculous thing.
Like unreasonably difficult.
Unreasonably difficult.
Or unreasonably shitty.
No, unreasonably difficult.
Oh, I see.
I think even most flex rate cars, it's probably true for. If someone really wanted to give us like a...
Yeah, for an Audi Q7?
Yeah, exactly. Or no, I'm thinking like a you want to give me like a Porsche 911. I'm interested. So yeah, if you want to give me a car, that's how we could start a nice partnership. With you giving me a car. Now, otherwise, I don't really understand what you mean by partnership. Do you mean integrating OpenPilot in the car? Well, you don't need us for that. You can just do software. You just take it and install it on your car. I mean, this is why like the Chinese are going to win cars because they're going to do that, and like some companies won't, and like it's going to be like TCL and the TVs, man. It's literally going to be TCL and the TVs. Like cars are going to get there.
I mean, you ever driven one of the Neos or X-Pegs or whatever they are?
Well, those are pretty good, actually.
The ADAS as cars, you mean?
No, it's cars. Like I'm not even talking about them. I think there's going to be a whole nother tier of Chinese car companies that's basically like the Dell of cars. Because with electric cars, like with a you're trying to build a nice car, like where you getting the engine? You can't build an engine. Forget it. Those companies have perfected those engines for so many years.
Yeah.
But you want to build an electric car, you know, buy a motor from that guy, buy a battery from that guy, buy a chassis from that guy, stick it together. It's like building a computer.
But can they compete with Tesla?
Won't
they just be more efficient owning the stack?
Can they compete with Tesla? I mean, Teslas ain't that cheap. Yeah.
No, I know, but are they not more efficient for owning the whole stack?
I don't know. Maybe if Tesla really owns, like, who's getting the batteries? And
well, yeah, I guess they don't produce all their own batteries yet, do they?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a way to compete with Tesla on the high end.
I mean, yeah, but that's not really it.
Which is kind of what you're saying. I'm waiting till I get the Ford Maverick hybrid truck this year, and then I'll buy comma, unless I find a better hybrid truck. Currently, I drive a 2012 Lincoln MKZ, so it doesn't work for me. What is the ideal, I assume you mean ideal, vehicle for comma? Anyone have it installed on a truck?
I mean, we have it installed in our truck.
Yeah, we have a Dodge Ram.
Dodge Ram 1500 Limited. Great car. Drives off-road.
Yes,
looks American.
Is it good, or does it like cut turns and stuff?
It's not as good as it should be.
Well, one of the problems, we're going to fix this, but one of the problems is the truck's really high, and the thing's not really designed to, but we'll fix that.
Yeah, we explicitly have a filter in the data set that filters out road height detected over 1.5 meters.
Wait, do we actually?
Yeah, because we thought no car will ever be that tall until we found out about trucks.
I see. All right. Well,
we're removing that right now. You see him doing that now.
You see him doing that right now. Great. Gotta filter that out. All right. Is anyone raising their hand and wants to talk? Got no hand raisers, but we have 44 people now. It's growing a little.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah. Any more comments here? Are you guys offering partnerships with retail stores and offer installation for end user? Well, why don't you do it? Right? Do you need me? It was the same thing with jailbreaks, right? Again, I really don't like this word partnership, right? Because partnership is the most ambiguous garbage I've ever heard. What are you specifically saying we do with retail stores? Are you saying we give them free devices and then they install them and pay us? No, because then I got to come knock your door down when you don't give me the devices back. I don't want to be a creditor, right? But right now, I think it's still 15% if you buy right now. But we got to change it to 10 because now they're too good of a deal. If you buy 10 devices, we'll give you 10% off, right? And then charge your $500 premium on top of it for your installation. And there you go. Boom, you're making money, right? But yeah, so are we doing partnerships with retail stores and offer installation? Like, you can just do that. You don't need me. Why do you need me? Is comma buying OpenAI? I don't think we can. I don't think we can afford OpenAI.
Make an offer.
Yeah, honestly, no. I think they lose a lot of money. I think that if the minute we bought OpenAI, we'd be bankrupt in 2 weeks. You want to keep all those GPUs running for ChatGPT? Right? No, you want to be Microsoft's bitch? Like, buy OpenAI.
Wait, do the credits not pay for the GPUs?
What credits? It's free. ChatGPT has credits now?
Oh, it's free.
ChatGPT's been free for a while. Yeah, it doesn't have credits.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, if you want to be Microsoft's bitch, you can buy OpenAI. Let's see. Do we have more things? Oh, someone post this on the Discord. Did no one post this on the Discord?
No, I can do it.
Cool. Join our Twitters. I'm sure people on Discord want to talk. Oh, we have 12 comments now. Good. You got to give me content to interact with. Are driving controls significantly better on supported EVs, or is it roughly compatible between EV and gas cars?
Wait, sorry, I was Looking at Discord, what was the question?
Are driving controls significantly better on supported EVs, or is it roughly compatible between EV and gas cars?
It's the same. The only difference is that it shifts on a gas car, but that shifts with a human too. Does that bother you as a human driver?
It even shifts on a Honda Civic with a CVT. Don't you love the shift?
Shifts don't upset you as a human driver. It shouldn't be a problem for us.
Oh, you meant selling them in a retailer like Best Buy and they install them for you.
Okay, does Best Buy install things?
Yeah, no, they do. They make a lot of money on this stuff.
Oh, it's like the IKEA, add a person to your couch.
Yeah. The Geek Squad will plug it in.
I
mean, yeah, we can get there. We can get there. I don't know. We'll deal with talking to Best Buy. Like, not really. No, look, it's basically this. Like, the Comma 3 was too expensive. Hopefully it's not too expensive anymore. And it didn't do enough, and hopefully now it does enough. So it, like, does more and it's cheaper. If that doesn't work to get lots of growth, then, I don't know what to say. How I think Comma 3 will stack up against V11 FSD. I mean, we're 1 to 2 years behind Tesla. We've been 1 to 2 years behind Tesla for a long time, and we will continue to be 1 to 2 years behind Tesla.
It'll be more comfortable and less flashy.
Yeah, you can go on Reddit and you can read the comparisons between OpenPilot and Tesla, Autopilot and FSD, and but yeah, it depends what you want.
So I got some Twitter questions from the Discord.
Wait, did they come on the Twitter space?
Well,
do these guys just not have Twitter?
They're just asking here. Plans to add long support for more models. Yes, we are planning to add long support to more models. Especially as experimental mode gets better, that's more of a priority.
What else you got?
Okay, that was the only one, actually.
That was the only question we got? Oh, we have 16 comments now.
There was a lot of questions about whether they could ask questions.
Oh,
and no questions.
I don't understand. That's the worst question in the world. Can I ask a question? Bro, you just did, and it was a bad question. How many Comma 3s can we produce per month, now or in the near future? So I think we can produce 500 a month now. I mean, it depends. So a lot of this depends on when parts come in. I think we've done 500 before. And yeah, I mean, we're continually working on improving the manufacturing process to reduce time. So yeah, I think it's 500 now, and hopefully by the end of the year it's 1,000. I mean, our goal is to sell 10,000 units this year. So yeah, we're gonna have to get that up to 1,000. Anyone want to raise their hand and ask a question? You guys want to type your questions?
Nabil wants a spinning head of himself instead of the comma logo.
Well, Nabil can run the Nabil fork, which does that. Is the solo camera going to be enough the more comma evolves? What solo camera? Have you looked at a Comma 3? 1, 2, 3. Is that enough? Well, it's enough for, what, 99.99% of driving.
Have you learned anything at Twitter that applies to comma or OpenPilot?
Yeah, don't ever be Twitter. No, just that, building a good development environment is really important. I already kind of knew that, but Twitter just really reinforced that idea. I don't have any more dumb questions, but I think I speak for the community as a whole when saying we appreciate the interaction from all of you and we feel like part of the adventure. Companies don't do this today. Yeah, because most companies are scams, guys. Look, someone realized, and this isn't really true anymore, but someone realized that it was actually a lot better to sell shares instead of selling a box. Because the problem with a box is it can break. People have expectations for a box. The only expectation people have for a share is that the number go up. And as long as people keep buying the shares with that expectation, the number actually will go up. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But yeah, so companies that run scams aren't going to be open and transparent with you, obviously.
I mean, yeah, they've just got stuff to hide. Yeah, so many people are just terrified. You talk to so many people and you ask them questions like, I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah. What do I look for in a potential intern? Commits to OpenPilot. I mean, guys, like, it's not like we don't have like a secret rubric. You go and you do external work. Look at the last people who got hired for OpenPilot. They were external contributors to OpenPilot. It's actually pretty easy. You're like, but I can't contribute to OpenPilot. Well, great. Why the fuck would I hire you? Like, it's pretty straightforward stuff.
If you do well in the calibration challenge, you basically get a guaranteed interview. It's a very objective metric. There's a script that evaluates your code.
Yeah.
It's just a programming challenge. Nothing vague.
We hiring more people for research?
Yeah, they do very well.
And if they do very well, do you want more people?
Yeah, if they're very good.
All right, great. So stoked to finally have a compatible car and use comma Bolt EUV. Yeah, a lot of people have been buying it for the Bolt lately. We should really make sure that port's really good. We have a Bolt, so it's gonna get good.
Experimental long seems to act worse at night. Tunnels and rain, is that a known issue? Not really, I guess. And it seems to slow to reach target speed at any lane. That is a known issue that we are working on. AE did this better, but not quite there. Yeah, so the autoencoder models are a lot better at speed convergence. We can't ship them yet because there's still some issues. But that's the direction we're going, and the more we go in that direction, the more it will be reliable at converging to highway speeds.
At nighttime, the autoencoder models leak the headlights. Right? If they tell you where the headlight is, and then you try to reproject it in a simulator, it cheats.
Yeah, it turns out you need a lot more than depth to actually reproject the scene when it comes to lights.
I mean, I talked about the fancier stuff a lot. It's just like, depth is just kind of, it's going to kind of work. It's going to be better than what you have.
I just didn't expect the issues with the lights to come so quickly. I thought we could kind of ignore them.
Well, no, you're going to have to do something for the headlights. I don't think the other lights are that big a deal.
No, but we did a lot of augmentation, and it fixes 99% of it.
Wait, the headlights?
Yeah.
Oh, so you already fixed them?
99% of it.
I mean, car drives at night.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but you gotta model the headlights. That's not that bad.
I mean, we tried all this stuff, and it fixes almost all of it.
You tried modeling the headlights, not just augmenting
randomly. I think we tried that too, yeah. But the problem is...
No, I know you did random, where you just randomly made some patches bright and some patches dim.
Well, that was the most effective in the test, at least.
Yeah, but you probably also want to model the headlight and subtract it out or something.
The problem is when you're close to a barrier, those highway concrete barriers, the lights against them are so strong.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to modify the image there.
Great, so it fails. We gotta just switch to something real.
Well, that's what we're working on now.
Yo, guys, one of these days we're gonna hit something real, and the simulator's not gonna fight us anymore, and the model's just gonna drive beautifully. And then we're gonna train it on 17 million GPUs. Then we're gonna stick a 3090 in your car, and it's gonna be level 5.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we got to figure out how to augment the other cameras too. So
I mean, we just need GTA 5, but in the machine model's head.
What is how it works?
I mean, why does WASD, if you just go forward on a video and have the machine learning model imagine, why doesn't it just keep drawing?
What, did you try dynamics models and see what it does?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah, it was very mediocre, I know. I mean, yeah, but we're not using the right dynamics model. Do we use VQVAE?
You've seen train a couple of those. I don't know what the status of that is.
Well, that's going to work. Dynamics models were not going to work until you have VQVAE.
No, I mean, that is the approach that you've seen using.
Yeah. I mean, it'll work, and we're going to start to see these from mainstream AI labs this year or next year.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to do video synthesis.
No, I mean, it's the obvious next step. Right?
No, and all the video, all the dollies and stuff. We're gonna do video, volley.
Oh. No, I know.
Okay, we got a few people who requested this. Good. We got some people who want to talk.
Nice.
Oh, I can turn my auto rotation back. Welcome to the Twitter space. Welcome. Oh, and we have 28. Wow, we have so many comments externally.
Oh, I guess I can beat those too.
We got new speakers. What do you all want to say?
Hey, George, I commented this question. I'll ask it instead.
Sure.
Are you still working on the comma body, or is that just kind of a side project that's not going anywhere?
Yeah, it's definitely going somewhere. It's just a question of what the time frame is. Long term, there's no future in self-driving cars, and I'll tell you why. If two things are going to happen. One, like when you get to a long tail, it does become not only a terrible grind, but also just a real problem of how do you prove the success of this thing. And at that point, the only thing you can really do is become an insurance company, and that sounds very boring. And two, you're again running up against things that are just like not fun. Why do you want to deal with this long tail? You want to solve a problem, be like, cool, we solved the problem, and then move on to the next thing where you can actually make progress on a problem. And the next thing that's really very similar to what Comma is doing today is home robotics. So the body is the future of Comma, right? The body, in a way, is the future of OpenPilot too, right? Think about it. When people say they want a self-driving car, this is not a car; it's a person. It's a person that sits down in the driver's seat, and drives the car, and doesn't talk to you. And already beating most taxi drivers. But yeah, so it's a 5 years. The plan for Comma is really to fully be a robotics company. But in the next 5 years, I think we're going to make a lot of money selling ADAS boxes. The total addressable market for Comma is huge. The amount of supported cars that are currently on the road and how quickly that's still growing. So I think we can start making $100 million a year revenue selling ADAS boxes.
I hear that it wasn't just a side project and could be, a successful product line. If I could make a request, I would love for. I know you do a lot of streams, which I watch. If you could maybe post more videos of you testing, development, trial and error, crashing the thing, that would be awesome to follow. Would love to, as soon as you start selling them, specifically because I have a car that Comma doesn't support, so I've been following Comma just as a fan. Never been able to buy the self-driving aspect, but when you released that video on the Comma body, it was very exciting for somebody like me.
We have some other things planned for Comma Robotics. The body might have been a little bit ambitious. What do you guys think of like a puppy? Just a puppy, guys. Like having a puppy, right? A puppy. What does it do? Oh, it's cute. It runs around. It scampers. So yeah, I think there'll be some new cool robotics content coming next year. I've been talking about how I want the new office teeming with robotic life.
I think anything around $1,000 price point, people like me are gonna want to purchase. So make something cool.
I think that's about the price point we're sticking to for our robots. But you also need a head, right? The head's not included. But now the heads are only $14.99. They're a great deal. And when you look at the Comet 3, it really is a head, right? It has 2 eyes. It has 2 ears. People are trying to remove an ear. People are trying to Van Gogh the Comet 3. It's not going to happen. 2 ears. All right, we let another speaker in. What does the other speaker have to say? Sorry for putting you on the spot.
Hi, this is Cormac McKay here from the Autonomous Vehicle Association of Ireland,
Hi,
believe it
welcome.
or not. So 2022 will go down as one of the worst years for deaths and accidents on US roads. One of the highest number of deaths and accidents in the past 20 years. So one of the things I work on here in Ireland is lobbying and to make this sort of technology compulsory on all vehicles. I'm just wondering if you guys have considered lobbying the Department of Transport and Secretary Pete on making these types of devices compulsory on all vehicles on US highways.
I would never do that. I mean, I would never. I'm never touching lobbying in my life. Like I'd rather work at a KFC. But no, I mean that's just me. No, I agree largely with regulations that mandate things like AEB on new cars. I think, again, ADAS tech is, we consider comma to be much more of a convenience feature than a safety feature. Our bar for safety is human driving, so we have to make sure it's at least as safe as human driving, and we're confident we've passed that quite a bit. But
Well, that's a poor bar, isn't it?
well, again, it's what's already out there, right? We're a convenience feature. We are not a safety feature. We do not make any claims about safety aside from it's not going to make you drive less safe. Again, safety is very much your choices as a driver. If you choose to pay attention, you're immediately doing way better. The thing that's, I think, I don't know. I don't actually know what the data says on this, but I do know that accidents have ticked up slightly, and it's probably phones, right?
Well, it's a multiple of reasons, but it has been proven that ADAS systems do improve quality of driving
Oh, quality,
and
undoubtedly. Yeah,
prevent.
the experience driving is much better with the ADAS systems. But no, like, are we going to start lobbying to make it compulsory? No. But do I support some, like, yeah, if you want to sell a car in 2025, it has to have AEB? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for that, and best of luck in the future, guys.
All right, what else we got? Image prime equals image already. Now we need dynamics. Wait, you really think the this is good enough?
Oh yeah, I saw it. It's really good.
Wait, what did you use?
It's just an autoencoder. DQVA autoencoder.
No, but what did you use again?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, you use again. Yeah, our reconstruction. All right. I'm glad our reconstruction.
Sorry, guys, one more question there for you. What about your global rollout? What's your plan?
It's already global. What do you mean by global? Well, you can buy it anywhere. It works anywhere.
Yeah, but it's not being promoted quite heavily
We don't do
here
any
in Europe.
promotion anywhere. We do zero promotion. We don't do marketing. We don't do advertising. I mean, unless you count this as marketing. In a world of broadcast media, advertising made sense. But in a world of social media, all you need, it's your are not. It is what is your person. For every person who buys the device, how many people do they then get to buy the device? So, I mean, yeah, there's things we can do to make the European experience better. I don't know if there's anything we can do about the customs.
I mean, yeah.
Very good.
But the customs is kind of annoying. But yeah, I mean, they're sold everywhere and they're promoted equally everywhere, which is not promoted at all.
I think 20% of our users are of the data we get in is not in the US, so that's a pretty decent chunk.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of European users.
That is pretty good.
Sure.
Thanks, guys.
What other? I have a question, concept, validation request. I validate you. I validate you. If you want to raise your hand in this space and you want to talk. Any more questions from Discord?
I'm looking now. Someone asks if Prius or Corolla are confirmed to have security, will we jailbreak one? I don't know. Is it confirmed? Does anyone even know? There's so much speculation.
About what?
The Corolla and Prius.
I'll do Toyota security whenever anyone buys votes. You obviously do not care enough if you haven't bought votes. That's we sell votes, and if people buy 500 votes, we'll crack Toyota security. Greg and Yassine, you guys want to share anything? Greg, you want to share anything about Toyota security? Yassine, you want to talk about the autoencoders? You gotta ask to be speakers. What about your global rollout? Multiple people ask this. Like,
No, that's just the same guy.
No. There's another person who asked, are there plans to expand to Europe? Like,
we already.
yeah, we're in Europe. Just buy one. Are you planning to do an alliance with a big car company? An alliance? Are you open to a potential acquisition? Look, if it helps the mission, yes. But no, if you get acquired by Toyota, your tech doesn't go in Toyota. You go in Toyota. Right? I think that's what. And then all these companies, get acquired by these companies, and then you just go to die. Like a lot of these companies just want to buy you so that nobody else can have you. It's terrible. So no, not really open to acquisition. Let me explain how you make money. You make money by selling lots of small boxes and then doing share buybacks with all your excess money. Yassine wants to talk. Yassine, I heard the new models look good.
Hey, yeah, the new VAE models are good.
Do I owe you a computer?
I think so.
Can I not tell the difference if you put two? Can I not tell you which one's the?
I'll send you a grid.
All right, great.
So the deal was to train a model that compresses images from our fleet and reconstructs them, and they look completely similar. And I think that was done. Now this is going to be used. This is going to be used together with the dynamics model to have an ML based simulator basically, and hopefully this is going to be better than our small offset simulator.
Do we have to make the bits a lot bigger or same number of bits?
It's I think it's 4 times iris. It's 4x the number of bits of iris. But iris was kind of small. It's exactly the same as what taming transformer used. Did I lose the mic? No. What's happening?
Yeah, for people listening, the idea is kind of when you drive, you can like imagine driving. You can do like rollouts in your head. You could be like, oh, I see what's going to happen if like a car cuts in there. Oh, I see what's going to happen when the light changes, right? So even if, ideally, eventually we want the model to do that at inference time. But let's start with making the model do that at train time. Think about what's going to happen, and then think about where you should be.
Yeah, like GTA. Like you can drive around in imagination, and the world just keeps getting rendered.
Well, GTA has a map, though.
We can give it a map.
Can we, though?
Yeah, why not?
Well, this always separates the problem. Like, great, we're going to make dynamics models. I think we can make good dynamics models, maybe even ones that can keep video coherent for 10 seconds. But then what do you use for the policy? Right, what do you use for?
Oh, it's the ground truth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
At the very...
Yeah, that's going to be the difficulty.
I'm sure we can solve this. This sounds like a much more approachable problem than like cheating in the simulator.
Oh yeah, but don't you just have like an evaluator that like both evaluates real data and your data and is like, this seems good, seems human-like?
I could make a... Oh.
It has to be adversarial.
Yeah. You're asking the question, like, given this rollout, we've talked about this before. The problem here is if your simulator looks anything different from real data, this model will...
Yeah, no, it needs to be indistinguishable.
It needs to be indistinguishable to this other model that does that.
Yeah.
And that can be done in the dynamics level. It doesn't have to be done at pixel level.
Yeah, that's...
Not feature level.
That's why I'm so excited for these autoencoders. Also, maybe it's just because I'm bad at calculus, but the reason I really like the VQVAEs is VQVAE is discrete, meaning it turns the image into pretty much a sentence. Like it turns each image from the drive into like a, maybe a 16,000 word vocabulary in 4 words, or 10 words. All right, Kale, what do you got?
Hey, I finally figured out the spaces thing. Sorry about that. I was watching and you asked, and I wasn't able to, but I got it now. So, question for you guys too. In fact, your website and listings for the models that your device works for. It shows a Escalade 2016 model, but I have a 19. Would it still be able to interface there? And obviously, I have to get a harness made and all that good stuff. But would a 2019 model be applicable for the
Does your
unit?
car have adaptive cruise control and
Yeah.
LCAS?
Yep. It sure does. Yes.
If it has
That is
if it has ACC and LCAS, I'm sure you can make it work.
right. Cool. I figured as much. I wanted to hear from you guys first, and I'll probably be getting one. And then second one is, I got this kind of concept that would be cool. I mean, people go take their cars, get stereos installed, or you go down and get customizations, this and that. I think that for the masses to adopt something like this, it would be helpful for most people to be able to take their car somewhere and have this installed.
Great.
Is that a concept that
You want
guys,
to get rich? Set it up.
consider? That's what I'm saying.
What do you need me for?
That'd be rad. Well, we need to purchase a bunch of your units at wholesale.
Great. So it's right now it's 15% off if you buy 10 or more.
Cool.
Also,
that's cool.
You don't actually need. Remember, you can charge a lot for that installation service, right? Like you could probably sell this to people for $3,000, like if you market it correctly.
It might even be a subscription model. Also, I mean, you could have it monthly, so you could, or something like that.
You want to deal with
all of the
chasing
above.
deadbeats down for credit? You can. You're willing.
Well,
If you're willing to take that,
I run a business now.
If you're willing to deal with all this bullshit, there's actually a lot of money to be made.
Yeah, hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so a lot of people come to me still, and they're like, George, I made money in high school using the jailbreaks, and they would basically charge money to run my jailbreak on people's phones.
Right, exactly. I mean, a couple different models there would definitely be successful. And would there be would you be able to reach out on a commercial side on a support? Like, would it ever be possible to reach out for support on not being a retail customer?
Why do you need me to do this? Why can't you do this?
Not you. I mean, like the company. If possible, I had a shit ton of units out there, and
Why do you need me to do support? You can do support. Now it's $5,000.
Right,
charge $5,000 to your customers.
Yep.
I just cool. Honestly, I don't deal with any of this. It's not really worth it. I'm sure it's worth it financially, but again, this just isn't the kind of company we want to be. We want to solve this technical problem and then go on to solve other fancier technical problems.
Will there be a time in which you're going to want these products they're currently mass produced, but is that the business model, or are you guys moving on from this being the revenue for the company, the actual device?
No, selling devices is going to be our revenue stream for a long time.
Right.
We make boxes.
Right. So the more you sell, the better.
We don't care who buys them. Whether installers buy them, whether dealerships buy them, whether car companies buy them, whether individuals buy them. Look, it's a very simple business model. We build a device for cheaper than we sell it for, and then we make profit on the remaining. Right? I feel like things are so messed up in business today that this kind of real one-on-one shit is just kind of forgotten. Look, we sell the device at $14.99. Now they cost us about $8.50 to make. Pocket the rest. Yep.
Cool. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for your time, and you guys have a great one, dude.
You too. Greg, you have anything to share on Toyota security?
Guess not.
No.
Does anyone actually use professional stereo install services? I feel like I see so many shops.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably like a thing in the 90s. And then, like, they're just still there. All right, we got DG. Deeb's on here, too. Deeb, you want to share anything from the hall? From the booth? DG, you could talk. Deep's not a speaker yet.
Oh, how's it going, guys? I heard you talking about people buying commas on wholesale and selling it. And you're saying make a profit on installing it, but my concern was, well, people, if anybody's done it here, has anybody come after them saying, like, say it's a non-technical person in there and you install it in for them? Has anybody come after you about that?
I mean, come after? Who's coming after me?
Yeah, but, no, not you. I'm not saying comment, but I'm saying is some non-technical person. If you're putting this in their car, they're not gonna understand it, and some people might just think it's gonna make their car just do whatever. And of course, you could tell them it has its limitations, but
I mean, we have multiple people around the world already doing this as a business, where they buy 10 units from us, sell them to people for a price we don't even know, and they keep coming back, so they're making money. As far as how you communicate with your customer, I mean, that's between you and your customer, right?
yeah, that's true. I was wondering if people. I don't want to get into all legal things, but if people like made contracts with customers, but that's more than that's other than just your business. That's more of the side business people make.
Sounds like, yeah, again, this kind of thing, both legally and informally, is a thing between you and your customer, right? Like, you can buy it, you can promise that these things will wash your dishes for you, and then the customers will be like, "But it didn't wash any dishes." Well, that's between you and your customer, man.
George, you're right, man. George, guys, thank you, guys. I appreciate everything you're doing. Decentralize the power, baby. Thank you for everything, George.
Sure. Wait, Adib went away. Adib was on, and then he went away.
Wasn't interested.
Nope. No, something happened at the booth. That must have been exciting. The Twitter space is still growing.
Hey, George. Sorry, I'm going out of turn again.
Sure.
You ever gonna come back to Twitter?
No, I'm done with Twitter.
Oof.
Poor T said, "What's the announcement? I didn't catch up." Someone said, "Price drop." He said, "Ordering now."
Nice. Oh, Greg wants to talk. Hey, Greg.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do I have this set up right? Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Everyone can hear you.
Oh, okay. Do you want to talk about Toyota security?
I mean, people were interested in that. I heard you got the firmware.
That's what yeah, so yeah, we got I've looked at the firmware. The first thing is I've heard some rumors that like people thought that like there's some solution out there where like you can proxy, where like you could basically like maybe the gateway or something does the SecOC
verification,
MAC checking, yeah. And that definitely doesn't seem to be the case. It actually doesn't even parse the bits out of the message for steering unless you get through the MAC verification inside the power steering firmware. So it does seem like you actually have to either modify the firmware or figure out a way to actually generate valid MACs for the CAN messages that you send.
I heard the algorithm was all in software, though. It's not going to some hardware thing.
That's correct. AutoSAR has quite a few spec documents out there that you can read, and they actually intentionally wrote the spec using things that were achievable on very low end hardware, all in software, if that makes sense. And so So yeah, in the firmware that I've seen, it's all in software. So yeah, it seems like there's a few options. One is always reflashing firmware, where you make changes to things. The other is like figuring out how to get the keys out of the firmware. It does have read memory by address, but they block important ranges. And the SecOC spec says things like, make sure that you
Wait.
you don't.
But do they have write memory by address?
They don't have write memory by address, no. But there is. I found two ways that you can write the keys. So you can write the keys using routine control, and then they also seem to have these special addresses. There's like blocks of addresses where like it copies it all into memory, and then once it's got like a full value, it'll use it the same way routine control uses it to then write a new key or overwrite keys. But the problem is you have to know a key to write a key. That's like how the key updating works. And so what that means is even if you capture the keys that are say you like use the Toyota tools to record it updating the keys, what you have are encrypted keys that are encrypted with another key on the device. So there may be some hope that like every one of them uses the same key. I haven't actually found there's like multiple sets of keys. There's I can't remember the names now. The SecOC spec lays it all out. There's like a master key that you can't change, and with the master key you can change any key. And then there's like 4 other keys that you can easily change, and one of them is used for all the messages, all the SecOC messages. And so like it's possible that the master key is the same on all of them. I think all the keys have to be somewhere in the firmware, and I haven't found them. But well, actually, so the SecOC or the EPS that we have, it was never actually in a vehicle, and so the problem is I think that they never actually wrote any keys out to it. And I did find 3 keys, and they're like the default keys or something like that, and it is actually using the default keys. But I think the real keys are loaded from like data flash or something like that. And so don't have all that figured out because it's I don't know, there's some really complicated indirection stuff going on. It just isn't trivial to understand, and I haven't spent that much time looking at it, but
yeah, but it's
but yeah,
it sounds like there's good progress.
Yeah, the first thing that I found that was interesting was I noticed that it actually doesn't do any of the SecOC checking for like the first 1,000 iterations of some thread. So when the power steering motor first starts up, you can actually sneak through a bunch of messages, and it'll accept them and parse them out and everything. But it's not super useful, obviously, in itself. But there also is a method that resets that counter. But I haven't figured out like a way to call resetting the counter. Basically, like it only does SecOC parsing if this counter is greater than 1,000 or something like that. And so I suppose there's some hope that maybe there's a way to find to like constantly reset that counter, or maybe there'll be like some way to get read memory by address. Like, I don't know, maybe we can figure out some exploit to like get read memory by address to allow you to read.
Yeah.
So all the keys are in RAM. So all the keys are both on, they must be persisted somewhere, obviously. And then all the keys are also copied into RAM, and that's where they're used at runtime. And so
does read memory by address let you jump the firmware?
I don't believe so. The address ranges are really restricted for read memory by address. So it is super helpful for introspecting a lot of stuff while it's running to figure out, like, is it actually parsing out the CAN messages, the SecOC CAN messages? Like, how far is it getting through the parsing process and so forth? But But yeah, it doesn't let you. I believe it doesn't let you read the flash. The flash was read by by putting it into like setting some pins to put it into the what is it called, the boot assist mode or whatever,
Yeah.
and then doing a voltage brownout, like a voltage glitch, to get it to skip past the security check, the key check in the boot assist mode.
Yeah, that was crazy that one got it dubbed.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, no,
So,
but I'm sure we'll figure something out. I mean, I bet the master key is the same on all of them, and we just need to figure it out.
yeah, it may very well be.
Yeah, we just got to get the master key off one of them. Then it's all symmetric, right?
Yes, it's all symmetric, 100%.
Love it.
And the keys are loaded. The keys are loaded in RAM. So if somebody figures out a way to to basically bypass the read memory by address range restrictions, you could also easily read the keys out of RAM.
I mean, yeah, hopefully the master key is all the same. What we do is we just get one into flashing mode, we reflash it with a patch, read memory by address, read the keys, and it's done.
Well, but then you have to change the keys. The problem with changing the keys, so the master key is only used to change other keys, basically. So the problem with changing the keys, you could definitely change the keys, but the reason that changing the keys isn't super attractive, it's because then the stock system won't work anymore unless you change unless you go through all the ECUs and also tell them about the key that you're changing it to, which is possible. I guess you could reverse engineer the whole Toyota, key update process.
No, that's a lot. I'm hoping that there's going to be some flag somewhere, maybe that you just set it and it disables SecOC verification.
Yeah, I've looked for that pretty hard, and I've got like a lot of the configuration tables reverse engineered really well, and Willem's done quite a bit of work looking into it also, and we haven't found any way to get it to bypass. The closest thing I found was that counter, basically that it ignores the SecOC stuff until you've incremented it past that magic value of 1,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
But so that's unfortunate. But
I trust we'll find something, or we'll just maybe be able to. I don't know. I'll look over the SecOC thing. Maybe there's a way to just attack the algorithm directly.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, there's a DEF CON talk out there that I posted in our Discord a while ago, where the guy says, like, this guy from Intrepid Systems or whatever the company is, he says that like he was able to like you record enough traffic and then you could potentially essentially like brute force it or whatever, or build like a rainbow table or something. I'm not exactly sure what he was describing. I don't really completely understand how that works, but there may be some opportunity to do something like that, because what's interesting is the freshness value and the reset counter, it always reads them from CAN to start. So there's these numbers, that are passed into the hashing function as kind of like a salt or whatever, that are the numbers that are always supposed to be incrementing. The trip counter is never supposed to roll over, essentially. It can, but it should take a super long time, because the trip counter is every time the ECU powers on. And then there's a reset counter that resets more frequently. And the trip counter, it reads off CAN every time. So like, I also kind of feel like, yeah, maybe there is some opportunity to have it be more deterministic, what the values are that like what the signatures are for specific messages, and be able to do, kind of like essentially a replay type attack.
If we have rainbow tables that we have on our servers, we can only include it with comma prime.
Yeah.
You want to get the key to your Toyota? You got to buy Super Prime, $44 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how many. I hope something like that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question that you could reflash the firmware and adjust the whether or not the SecOC stuff is enforced or not. There's configuration tables that contain what addresses SecOC applies to, and
Wait,
there's like flags with it.
How do I reflash the firmware? Do I need to take the thing out and glitch it?
I don't. Well, no. I mean, you can definitely flash the firmware wherever it can. I haven't looked super deep into the firmware flashing, so the thing I don't know is, I think the firmware might be encrypted. But again,
the new Toyota
not
stuff.
Sure.
The new Toyota stuff is all encrypted when you download like the Q files and stuff.
I see. Yeah.
I don't really know what it's encrypted by or how any of this stuff works, but I know that I downloaded the Q files for like the SecOC cars, and it was all encrypted.
Yeah. So yeah, reflashing the firmware isn't super attractive, but that might be
well,
one way to potentially get rid of the.
Yeah, reflashing the firmware is a lot better if we can read the initial firmware. But I'm sure those keys are in there. Like I'm sure the keys to decrypt the firmware are in the other firmware.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think any of it's asymmetric. So I think if we get it, we can just, encrypt our own replacement firmware.
Yeah.
And
yep.
Happy to, all right, maybe that's the first firmware flash we release.
Yeah. But yeah, once I found the default keys in the flash in the firmware dump, Willem was actually able to construct valid SecOC messages and get it to parse them.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Great, guys.
So yeah, if there's some way to read the keys, it's
we got it.
I mean, I don't know. That seems like the best option for sure. There's some way to read the keys.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked. These things just usually don't have like arbitrary read exploits in them because the surface is so limited. But maybe.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, and there's no. I haven't found any XCP or CCP like the calibration protocols that they use to like live tune. I think these things while they develop them, where they can like arbitrarily read and write memory by address. I haven't found any write memory by address. So
Toyota has so much weird stuff. Like Toyota has so much. I remember when I was looking into like the smart DSU knockouts. There's like so many layers of different firmwares in those things. I wasn't even sure if like it was almost like there might even be a hypervisor on some of these.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's great. Sounds like there's great progress to everyone in this Twitter space. You just got the best update on Toyota security you've ever heard. Yeah, if you guys buy votes, we'll get serious about it. But no, I mean, it sounds like it's.
Yep.
It sounds like.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty good understanding of it now, at least. So.
Good stuff. All right, cool. I think we'll leave the Twitter space there. Thank you, Greg. Thank you, Yassine. Vivek, did you want to talk? Vivek's a listener.
Oh, we really got everyone.
We got everyone. Adib showed up for a minute.
The whole crew.
No, I think that's the Twitter space. All right, thank you guys. Make sure you buy Comma 3s. Otherwise, I'm gonna get fired and the price is gonna go back to $19.99. And they're gonna be like, bad marketing intern. Why'd you lower the price? It was terrible of you. Because we didn't sell more devices. So make sure you buy. Make sure you tell your friends. No, now's legitimately a great time to buy this product. This is the first one that's like it's like good. No, the Comma 3s and the Comma 3s coming off the line right now are like good. You should have seen what a shit show Comma 2 production was. Even Comma 3's in the old office, but in the new office, like we have like a whole line. We have 4 full-time production people. They're just building really good devices, and now they're cheap, so you guys should buy one. All right, thanks everyone for listening.